Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Scion First Edition game, A Broken World. I am the Reverend Sarkon. I'll be your storyteller this evening, and last we left off in our first episode, we got to meet 3 of the 4 Scions that were gathered by a satyr named Ajax, who is a servant of Dionysus. We learned that a freak lightning bolt struck Red Rocks, and that 2 Scions, one of Loki and one of Ares, have stolen Zeus's thunderbolt. They learned that a Minotaur, or the Minotaur, was imprisoned under the amphitheater and was released when the bolt hit the ground. We got to see that there's a combination of small creatures in that the satyr and a cherub named Iggy drove them into Thornton, where they switched Iggy out for another satyr named Summerfield, who was much more amicable and friendly towards the group than Ajax or Iggy were. But they were taken into the mountains past Thornton in the northern part of Denver, where they got to go into a tunnel of Terra Incognita, and they were transported to Greece, of all places. They got to see that some kind of ritual was enacted around one of the olive trees that was pushed down. There was a large hole underneath where something might have been buried. They saw a pentacle and what looked to be indentations of 5 bowls at each point of the pentagram, at which point they were assaulted by skeletal Spartans that emerged from the water. As a reward, though, they did manage to keep the basilisk's fang that one of them had, that had the relief of Hercules fighting the Nemean lion etched into it. And one of the satyrs let them know that it was a divine conduit, but that it needed to be taken to whoever ordered it made in the first place. And we left off with them heading back through the tunnel after Iggy translated a writing that they saw inside one of the skulls that turned out to be a kind of prophecy. And we're going to be opening up with our 4th member, since we didn't get to meet him last episode. You're arriving at Denver International Airport, DIA, which has a following of spooky and esoteric kind of conspiracy theories attached to it. Not even counting Lucifer out on the streets, kind of like the highways leading in and out of the airport. There's a bunch of new things that you hadn't noticed before, and maybe it's because you're in a different concourse coming in than when you were leaving. But some of the more eccentric images feel like they're pointing you in a different direction than the carousel to get your luggage. And as you come into one of the main areas, you'll notice that there's a spot for a hamburger spot. It's called Dot's Hot Hamburgers. But you'll also notice that after a moment, the neon kind of blinks on some of the letters, so it's only THOTH Burgers is lit.
Subtle. Should be added because I know where I'm at, and this airport has quite a reputation that prior to Kaz dropping me off, I have taken a small bit of anointed oils and ash and kind of dabbed just under my eyes with them. 6 successes on the unlidded eye, and I'll mark off the point of willpower for it.
Okay. And what does Rutherford look like? This is the first time we're meeting him.
Rutherford looks much like his player. He is usually disheveled, slightly overweight, mid-40s, glasses, salt and pepper beard. Really easy to cosplay him. The only real difference is his clothes, though they are probably in need of a dry cleaning are name brand Brooks, Armani,
Mm,
uh, stuff that probably could have been purchased at the place where the Kingsmen buy their swag.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So
he's
affluent.
he comes from enough money where he doesn't think about it.
Okay.
And he is traveling with a old style, almost like a doctor's bag, like a full satchel instead of a suitcase.
And you'll see that there's a young woman at the counter. There's a little podium at the doors, and she immediately kind of comes around as she sees you coming. She opens the door for you. She's dressed in a white kind of dress shirt. The top button is undone. There's a little kind of brownish, earthy tone vest, slacks, and what would be comfortable shoes. She has a little bit of like a latte coloring to her skin. There's maybe like 7 or 8 freckles spread across her face, along the bridge of her nose. And you'll notice that her name tag has this kind of beautiful cursive etching of her name, and it's just Cleo.
And does she? Are there any telltale signs of her being a creature of fate, chosen by fate, or supernatural in any way?
Well, she smiles as she opens the door for you. She goes, Mr. Haverton, we're excited that you could come and join us. Right this way. And
Yes, well, given the directive, I didn't see that I had very much choice.
And she grabs a menu, she smiles, and she kind of pats you with it on the stomach. You always have a choice, but
Yes.
sometimes they are more forgiving if you follow the first option.
Yes. Well, path of least resistance and all that.
Science! And she kind of fist pumps and takes you to a table in the back. She puts the menu on the seat, and you'll notice that there's already a gentleman sitting there with a menu up, and as you sit down, he brings the menu down, and it's a mummified man.
One moment. Cleo,
She stops and she turns around. Sir,
what do you recommend on the menu?
the burgers are safe.
Right, but I noticed there's a variety of them. What do you recommend?
I am a fan of the alligator tail.
Excellent. Thank you.
Of course. And she'll step away. And the gentleman starts to pull the bandages off from around his mouth. He bows to you out of respect. And then he'll reach into his stomach and pull out a canopic jar and open it to a beating heart. And he'll put the canopic jar on the table and just kind of like hand the open heart to you. The beating heart.
And I kind of look around at the other diners.
There are none.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Um,
It sounds like there's people eating and people talking, but there's nobody in the actual establishment.
Wonderful trick. And who might you be? He takes the heart.
A servant of our father.
Yes, and how is dear old dad?
Troubled. And he'll motion with his hand to his ear.
Well, any additional information for me?
The heart will pass along the message. And instead of drool, you'll see that there's some sand coming out of his mouth.
Lovely. I kind of examine the heart.
It looks like a human heart. Something around maybe 45 to 55 years of age. It's got a little fat on it. It's got a little bit of that kind of greasy look to it, like unhealthy.
That lived-in gristle that we all accumulate.
Exactly. But you hold it up to your ear and you start to hear the wind. It's a soft and warm kind of breeze on the side of your face, and you'll hear the voice of your divine parent, not echoing, but a little bit of reverb attached to it. Very much the feeling of this is important. This is a message from on high. Do not dawdle. But the words that come through are old Egyptian, kind of like Latin-esque, classical, like Greek and Roman. But you understand the words as trouble is being brought to your door. The Greeks have gathered a group to deal with the problem. Your help will prove invaluable to them. And after the message is delivered, you'll feel another kind of breeze and the heat on your face, and then you'll feel the heart shrivel and wither into dust.
Just as it's starting to fade, I was turning the next ventricle to see if I could speak back into it, and then it...
No. Yeah. No, so
Yes.
oh, fuck.
Trust Father to not believe in two-way communication.
And the mummy kind of nods and shows you the inside of the lid of the canopic jar and slides it to you. He has offered this as a gift should you require more assistance.
Out of game, this is my relic, I believe, or my item.
This is a new one.
Oh.
This is empty, though, so you will have to mummify and insert bodies into it.
And I don't suppose Father left any instructions on its properties, how to activate it, or what to do with it.
He shakes his head. But you notice on the inside of the jar there are 3 names written.
What are the names?
Diego, Caitlin, and Nicole.
I don't suppose the... Are you aware of the missive that Father left me?
He tilts his head to you.
Do you know the scenario, what I'm walking into?
Oh, no. No. Only the Greeks are the ones that have formed the band, my son.
Well, it's been quite some time since the Greeks pulled off anything of merit. Very well.
He'll stand.
Staying for the burger, or are you leaving?
He'll stand and he'll bow respectfully. And instead of getting up, you just see him wither and turn to dust. And Cleo comes by and she's got a little kind of like Chinese container of food and a little bag that just says Dot's Hot Hamburgers on it. I think that it'll be better for you to take this to go, sir.
I suppose you don't happen to have any more information than what I was given to you?
No, sir.
Should have known. Mind the dust.
Oh, it'll mind itself once you leave.
I fish into my pocket and take out a couple 20s and put them on the table.
She says thank you. Completely unnecessary, though. We are all servants
Man
of
should always pay
higher
his way.
powers.
Yes, well, the higher powers didn't cook me this burger. Your cook did, and you were the one that made the recommendation.
Very well.
Always pay for what you take.
And,
Gratuity included for the exceptional service, of course.
and you see that when she grabs the bills and she turns them over in her hand, they actually become coins. Traditional Egyptian uh, kind of ovular coins. And they do have the depiction of Thoth on them.
Thank you.
Thank you. She pockets them.
And now I have a plane to catch. I don't suppose they let you eat.
Oh no, you were arriving from somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
So, Kaz will be outside waiting for you.
Excellent. And he begins to eat his burger as he walks lazily through the airport.
The moment you walk out of Dodge, you will hear a couple of people kind of like confused and looking in your direction, kind of pointing. Kind of cell phones come up and record. But the establishment looks like it hasn't been working in about a year or two. It looks derelict and defunct.
Hell of a long wait, but worth it. I raise the burger.
And some people go about like their business. Some start to like turn their phone around and just like, do you see that, fam? That man came out of the wall like a ghost. Yeah, crazy. Definitely a third-rate influencer of some kind. But as you
Yes,
are,
please like and subscribe.
as you're
Offer a thumbs
pulling
up.
up to your antique shop, you'll see a truck coming down the opposite side of the street, roaring, and it just cuts you and Kaz off, and almost hits the front door to your antique shop. And you'll see this little face with the little curly horns from the driver's seat. Hey, you fuck face number 4? And he'll turn back. Hey, Nicole, is that fuck face number 4?
Yeah, that's the old man.
Hi, old man.
Okay. I get out of the car.
Yep.
And, good evening, Kaz. Thank you very much once again.
Of course.
I wonder if Seder is akin of flavor to mutton, or perhaps lamb. We might be finding out momentarily.
You see a second satyr
get it.
pop up from underneath, like the wheel well. And he's like, I apologize for Ajax. He is cantankerous. No, but this is Ajax. I'm Summerfield, and these are your associates. Dionysus wishes you well. Be safe. And Ajax kind of looks over. He's like, this is the part where you get out of the car.
All right.
I glare at him, and I'll spend a point of legend.
Ooh.
And I'll be using Reku's gaze.
Okay. All right. Already starting to bug the Greeks, huh?
It just makes them scared and shut up. But I will not be disrespected by another pantheon.
Talking about Second Blaze?
Yeah, Seku's Blaze. That's the one.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, what?
If his legend is higher than mine, he's unaffected. If it's equal to or less, then he's, works on Titan spawn, ghosts, and everything else in between.
Yeah. If it's equal, what happens? Does that count as being?
It still counts.
Still counts as being lower or higher?
Lower. They're still affected. It's only they can spend he can spend a willpower point and roll a contested willpower against me.
Okay. No,
if he wants to resist.
He'll and everybody else will kind of see that there is this light about you. What does activating Second's Blaze look like for you?
So for him, it's almost like the anime thing where all you see are the glasses and there's nothing behind the eyes, and then it manifests more as almost like an audio thing than a visual thing with him, where you start hearing words in every language ever spoken, telling you to know your place.
Okay. And after a moment, Summerfield kind of nods at you, and you'll see Ajax just kind of slide into the wheel well where Summerfield was. Doesn't say a word to anyone.
Thank you, Mr. Summerfield. I appreciate your graciousness, and I accept your invitation.
Thanks. Farewell, everyone. If you need us, he'll pull out a business card.
Thank you. I hand him mine.
Yep. Oh. Puts it in his mouth and eats it. All right, Ajax, drive us out of here. And he gets the wheel, and you hear Ajax kind of rev the gas, and the truck pulls away. There's some beeping from cars that it almost hits, and then drives away. And you hear what's the song? Get Your Motor Running, Wild Thing.
Get out on the highway.
Yeah, just blaring on the radio.
Ah, Ivy. We meet again.
Nico.
Nico.
Oh, Nico. Sorry.
Sorry.
It's
Too
written.
sharp.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Kaz. Good to see you.
Miss Sanders, always a pleasure.
Nico.
Of course.
I will. So the three names were. What were the three names in the canopic jar?
Diego, Caitlin, and Nicole.
Yeah. Should I assume that one of you is named Diego and the other Caitlin?
Detective Blackwood.
I'm not Caitlin.
Oh, you could be. I mean,
Thank you for clarifying. I find it best not to assume. Rutherford Havington IV. Pleased to meet your acquaintance.
Pleased.
No, he's not.
And you'll see that Kaz has opened the door for everyone.
Please, come inside. And the shop that you're in front of looks almost like the firehouse from Ghostbusters. Complete with the big wide bay doors that you could probably easily fit a hearse in. And when you go in, it looks like a combination between Giles's library and Egg Shen's shop in Big Trouble in Little China. Please, come in.
Thank you.
interesting shop.
Thank you. I've worked hard
Nico
to
walks in
assemble
with a
it.
big smile at Rutherford.
He offers one back with a slight bow. So, I believe we've all been tapped by the Greeks to this little endeavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems we've lost a Minotaur.
A what?
A Minotaur.
There's a Minotaur involved.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Splendid.
I was at the site. No, it wasn't. A
Well,
couple people got vaporized.
that sounds awful.
Mm-hmm.
At Red Rock,
Yep.
Oh, lovely venue.
where my bike still is.
My car's still there. Stop your bitching.
I'm assuming you've all gotten to know each other in the interim. Since we're going to be working together, it might behoove us to discuss our proclivities, skills, and abilities. Um, I know that Nico is a handful and quite adept at violence.
Don't forget it.
And never could. You'll remind me if I do. How are you two involved? He looks at the detective and Diego.
Yeah, it's Heimdall.
Oh,
My mother is Tazotiel,
ah. Well,
goddess of filth, secrets, things of the street. You know how it is.
I do. I am Thoth's scion, and I consider myself to be a scholar, as well as a collector of rare antiquities.
You are a rare antiquity. Well, maybe not rare.
Anyway.
Kaz kind of steps out from behind the counter. Shall I get any of the collections on the Minotaur, sir?
Please. Thank you.
Of course.
I mean, we also have these words, this prophecy we were given.
Oh.
The earth doth shake and mountains fall. Gods do love their tales. Wind blows cold, the sirens call. Hear now the dead man wails. The flames reach out like pointed claws, burn now the old facade. Unbound trapped teeth do gnash and gnaw. All merits are now flawed. But you never know what these mean until they happen to you. Oh, those are the teeth, the gnash and gnaw. That type of thing.
Will, does that particular prophecy have any kind of historical, mythological, or otherwise significance, and/or could I infer anything from its wording with, say, an academics check?
Yeah, go ahead and make an intelligence academics check.
And see, that's...
Ooh, you have epic intelligence as well.
I do, and
That's
I'm
nice.
a Viking when it comes to academics.
Yeah. That's a 9 dice. That's a good roll for you.
Did we keep the skull or did it disintegrate? I don't remember.
Up to you.
Difficulty 7?
Yep. It's
tens or
tens count as two successes.
Okay, and your mythic gives you an automatic success?
The epic attributes give you automatic successes equal to their level, yep.
Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Okay. The rhyming scheme is interesting in that Greek poetry doesn't use that kind of syllable count. That's very much more modern, kind of Renaissance and forward. The mountain falling could refer to the Rockies. They're right there. Gods and their tales could definitely be a reference to Dionysus, since he's known for the storytelling. Cold wind is also a reference to the Rockies. The siren's call is what makes that stanza weird. Sirens are mostly aquatic creatures, ocean dwelling, sailors' demise kind of thing. So being in a landlocked state kind of makes that a weird preposition to have.
Unless it's an underground waterway that has been there for quite some time.
Maybe. The Dead Man's Wail could be an ode to where the prophecy came from. in particular, because it does come from the inside of a skull. The facade line could be anything. Gods are notoriously two-faced and usually have a second agenda, if not a third. Teeth, gnashing, and gnawing could be anything. The Minotaur is not known for having any wicked teeth, though it was known for eating any of its humans that did not escape the maze. And so everything else just kind of... There's threads that can snake out and touch certain points of Denver and the surrounding areas. But everything feels like its own avenue. Nothing syncs up.
Cato would be beside himself at the rhyme scheme, but I believe this does lead us into the Rockies. The stanza regarding the siren I find to be particularly interesting. I not
Don't
much by
sirens
the
sing?
They do, and they also tend to lure sailors to their death, which in a landlocked region such as this, I think might be rather difficult. My front-running first guess would either be a river system somewhere in the Rockies, or perhaps a underground cavern of some kind. Which, given the Minotaurs' affectation for mazes and dungeons, may be a possible area to look.
Oh, we got some old stuff for the old guy. Hey, where's that skull? And she'll pull out the fang.
I know this may seem like a rather odd question, but do any of you have any kind of particular funerary rites you prefer in the event that you expire on this mission?
That's a hell of a question to ask. Just meeting.
Well, if we're going after a Minotaur, despite our divine investitures, I imagine that it's quite possible one or maybe multiple of us will die. And I and my particular forebears have a reverence for the afterlife, and I just want to make sure that in the event that any of us expire, we're properly seen to.
Hey man, just put me in the ground.
Just send me to Chicago. My family will figure it out there.
Blaze o' glory.
Okay. And do any of these plans allow for the proviso of being brought back in the event that we have the capability?
Oh, if you're creepy mummies?
No, I was not going to
What?
embalm and mummify you. However, I believe I may have been given an artifact that will make resurrection a possibility, at least in some form.
What?
These
What do you
are
mean
your
some-
names, are they not? And he pops the lid off the canopic jar he was given.
The
The
three of you,
fuck?
the three of you will not see your names. You'll see the Egyptian hieroglyphs.
Oh, I don't.
It's a
I-
bunch of symbols, dude.
I'm sorry. I forget
But
not
sure, as long as
everyone
I'm me.
is- I forget not
As long as I'm
everyone is
me.
fluent in ancient hieroglyphics.
Right.
So what do you mean
because-
in some form?
I don't know. I was just given this and I haven't played with it yet. Excited to find
Sweet
out.
Jeez. Oh my god.
But
Creepy.
Nico did
Lit.
reveal a what looks to be a basilisk fang.
Fascinating. May I?
Give it back, but yeah.
I will examine it.
It has the sensation of being fate bound. It is definitely something that was not created in like a 3D printer or a prop house. It is definitely the kind of fang that you would imagine coming from some kind of draconid, like a basilisk or a dinosaur. And at the base of it, beautifully carved like a relief, there's this leather thong that kind of separates the art from the fang, but it's a depiction of Hercules fighting a Nemean lion.
It is obviously a relic of the Greeks, authentic, fate-bound. I imagine quite lethal in skilled hands.
Out of a big bag, Cat will turn around and hold hand the skull to him. You can keep it.
So if you hand me a skull,
It's got the writing in the inside of the skull.
okay.
It does. It
Okay.
doesn't look like any writing that you recognize instantly, but it does look Greek, old Greek.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we got the whole prophecy thing from.
Inside a skull. Fascinating. Well
Not
then,
really.
any ideas?
He came up with it from the top of his head. I point to the skull.
Shh.
Nico picks
here
up
all
the fang,
Mhm.
puts it away.
Any ideas?
Okay. Long and the short, she'll pull out her notes. So there's a crater about 15 feet over at Red Rocks. Apparently, Zeus. No. Somebody sold something from the Greeks. Apparently, Loki's kid, and I think was it Ares? Ares' kid.
They stole Zeus's bolt.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That seems pretty ballsy.
Yes,
I'm-
trust the
I'm-
Greeks to leave their most powerful mythological abilities
hey,
within easy
hey.
thieving distance.
Hey,
Yeah, but also leave it to Loki's kid to turn around and take opportunity and advantage of it.
Yes, I believe he is the least favored amongst your people, the Acer.
Oh, we just consider him adopted by this point and really don't even talk to him. He's the redheaded stepchild. Quite
Well,
literally.
so we have the crater, we have the connection to the Rocky Mountains, we have the Minotaur somewhere around here, and we have a quest to find stolen lightning bolts. Have I missed anything?
Yes. So when we got turned into Greece or something, we found a toppled tree, which was salted and had I believe, 5 jars around it.
Bowls.
It had stuff in it like former bowls, things. It had blood and it looks like it was all black, and there was 5 objects.
Do I know of any rituals?
I went down into the
or-
pit, which was not exactly the.
There are several esoteric rituals that will have like you need these 5 objects to summon such and such. It's very much in line with that kind of mentality where it's just like you don't know if it's something that has weight to it because of what was summoned and because of the blood ritual, or if it's something that was like seen on the internet and attempted because rich kids have nothing but time and no real sense of the danger that can be unleashed from their shenanigans.
And but just for Ben, was the tree, was that on the Greece trip or was that near Red Rock?
Yeah,
No, that was in Greece.
No,
Okay. Greece.
I'm
okay.
talking about the Grease right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I jumped into the pit to see if there was anything down into it, and the tree decided to right itself. And then skeletons came in to try and kill us. That's where you got the skull from.
well, no, I think that was from the 3 that came after me out of the hole.
Yeah, we had them in
Yeah.
the hole too. Good times.
Yeah,
Not really.
that one was one of the ones I shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
How good are you with fighting?
Not particularly skilled. My skills lie more in the acquisition of knowledge and objects than the application of violence. Although I am quite adept at swaying people into not committing violence, I also have been gifted with a retinue of servants that are able to assist me in the event that aggression is required.
So, no to the self-defense then. Got it. Fuck. All right. Can you shoot
As
at
the
least?
as the kids say these days, though, when I travel, I do come correct. And he kind of knocks on his shirt, and you can hear. Well, you're a detective. You can hear he's got a ballistic vest on.
Okay. 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 She goes, I know that knock, and she'll kind of
Yep.
just gently.
Indeed.
Okay. All right. Okay. As long as
And
you've got.
I have taken marksmanship classes, but don't really have much by the way of practical combat experience with a firearm or any other weapon.
You'll all hear an obnoxious ringing sound from the advanced warning system in Denver. All your phones going off at the same time.
Oh, motherfucker.
Yep. And they are warning
Ooh, I
people
wonder
to.
if we found a Minotaur.
They're warning people to stay away from Aurora because there is a current terrorist attack happening at the Alamo Draft House.
Do I have anything on my phone specifically as police?
Nothing that would help you in this matter.
Great. Fantastic. And all of our cars are in Morrison.
He's got one.
Mm-hmm. And Kaz comes out of the office with like a couple of books. Sir, I wasn't finished. I have these two, but is this something important? And they'll hold up their phone.
I don't know. I'm not a member of law enforcement. Is this something that we want to investigate?
Kat's calling it in to find out what's going on. Or at least she's calling her to find out what's happening.
Yep. And one of your associates at the station. Detective Blackwood. Yeah, we thought that you were still over at Red Rocks. From what I've gathered here, it's a trio. They're calling themselves the Denver Minotaurs. They're part of some cult.
Well, they usually are if they're going to go that way.
Yeah, they're demanding to be let free. They haven't hurt any of the hostages yet, but they're, from what the little bit we can see through the cracks in the posters at the doors, it looks like they're gathering some of their blood for something in these wooden bowls.
What's the demands?
Nothing yet. Nobody's gone in to negotiate.
How long have they been standing there?
Half an hour.
And there's no...
None that I can see here on my report right now.
All right, I'm going in.
I'll let the guys on the scene know.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And she'll hang up and go, well, 3 individuals called the Denver Minotaurs. Apparently it's called. They have
That's on the nose.
They have hostages. They're gathering blood, and they haven't made demands yet.
Seems like where we would go next.
I
think
have to
that
go.
stands to reason. In the meantime, I immediately pull out a tablet and open 5 different search engines and start looking up and social media feeds and start looking up the Denver Minotaurs to see what social media presence they have.
Very minimal. There's different researchers that come back with a middle school, an Aurora middle school, that has the Minotaurs as their mascot. As far as a cult is concerned, there's whispers on Reddit as far as like, you know, cults using different mythological creatures as their mascots, like like Denver and the Minotaurs, and San Francisco and their Tritons, and, you know, Appalachia and their Wendigos, things like that.
Come on, let's go.
Very well.
The gathering blood that you mentioned, like in the report, what does that seem like occult wise? Because like the people, like, you know, from what I've read about my mother, like that's like a thing that
Walk and talk. Let's go.
Yeah.
is in tradition.
You know that there's power in the blood. And depending on what they're doing or what they might have been taught to do, they could easily make themselves imbued, kind of like what the Aesir can do to their human allies.
Okay.
But where's the antique shop in Denver?
Probably on the outskirts of kind of where the downtown area and the university kind of intersect.
Okay. That's maybe a 20-minute drive to Aurora. So less than half an hour, you get to the site, and you can see that there's a helicopter patrolling the area. There's a couple of police cars. There's a SWAT van. And there's this little powwow of police officers that are off to the side, and one of them goes up to the door, and after a moment, the door opens. You can barely hear some of the things that's going on, but you see them exchanging words. And then you'll hear a shotgun blast, and the cop's head is just pink mist. And you'll hear the fire of what sounds
People have
like
a gun.
rifles just kind of coming out from the theater.
I hate this. Well, this is where the tactical-minded amongst us and the more combat-oriented, I believe, should be given its way.
It's already gone. Cap.
Yeah. And you'll see that some of the cops are already there, just switch off into their teams, and the main SWAT teams kind of come in. And you can hear the thunks of the tear gas being fired into the building. And the four of you will hear this loud moo, and all of the canisters just start flying back out of the theater.
I mentioned I hate this, right?
Are any of them coming near us?
The canisters, no. No, you're far enough away that the police created a far enough kind of berth from the theater itself that you're pretty safe.
Nico looks over at Caitlin.
He's up with the cops going and turning around and trying to fire in
Yeah.
and try to lay down suppressive fire so that they can get the SWAT team in there.
You'll see that the doors burst open, and there's this one guy who's maybe 7 feet tall, has a bovine head on top of his body, just comes barreling out with what looks to be this Mossberg shotgun. and there's two guys behind him on either side that are just opening fire with what looks to be AR-15s. Just just a little 3-round bursts here and there, and you can see some of the cops kind of diving for cover. The SWAT team.
Yeah,
Yep.
How far away are they?
From you guys, maybe like
totally aiming for one of them.
50
Yep.
yards,
Oh,
50,
Yep,
60
Kate's
yards.
totally shooting one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Detective, I don't know if that Minotaur has a permit.
Roll your
That's
dexterity
firearm.
and firearms. Or
yep.
Oh, she just middle fingers him as she's turning around and line shot for one of the chumps, for one of the lackeys.
Mhm.
So she's gonna try and get the lackeys down and then go for the Minotaur.
Sure.
I think Nico's going for the Minotaur.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be dexterity and marksmanship.
Plus, let's see. My gun has a +1 modifier, so that's
Yes.
11.
Yeah, it's +1 die.
And then, is that it?
Does
And the two
Diego have a
automatic-
gun or any
right?
other weapon?
I have a weapon, but it's not a gun.
Yeah. If you have epic dexterity, it just counts as automatic successes after the dice roll.
I do not have that.
Oh, that was a bad shot. What the hell?
Remember
Now
that
do
you can use a legend point to re-roll any die roll.
do zeros explode? Double
No,
zeros?
zeros count as double successes.
That's a 7 for me.
7.
Nice. Wait a minute.
Yep.
There's no system like the Delirium or the Shroud or anything when it comes to Scions and Mortals, I take it. So
There is not.
Yeah. So I'm not going to send the dead in who don't care about gunshots or tear gas. I'm going to just hang back.
Okay. Did Nico use a legend point to re-roll?
No.
Okay. You just gotta.
What's
I
the
got
crowd
5.
like? What's the crowd like out here?
There's
It's like a few police cars, right?
yeah. It's part of a little strip mall. So there's people that were gathered once they saw the lights and things like that. But everybody, like I said, the police kept a wide berth of at least 150 feet. So like 50 yards or so. So there's people that have gathered and they're kind of looking, and one of them's like, "Oh shit! Look at that guy on stilts." There isn't a delirium or masquerade, but people are still idiots, and so they'll try to rationalize the scene as best as possible. But there is a guy that's you can see his face and the cow's face on top of him like a fucking helmet. So he's not a Minotaur. He just has a fetish for Minotaurs. So Caitlin, you said you got 7 successes on one of the side guys, right?
Yeah, I want to get the side guys down so then we can focus on the Minotaur.
Okay. So a non-Mossberg guy, that's Garrett. Okay. You see that he takes the hit center of mass and he kind of wobbles back. And you'll notice that where he's bleeding from, there's this glowing green blood that's mixed in with his as well. You recognize it as being imbued. So somebody of the Aesir
She's
has.
gonna yell out to.
Mhm.
She's gonna yell out to the other 3 imbued blood.
Okay.
Because she's assuming that the trio know what she means.
Yeah. What did Nico get for the Minotaur?
5.
5.
I mean, that's with 2 automatic successes and 11 dice.
Yeah,
So it's not that good.
it's not that
for-
good. Yeah, you see the same thing. You see that there is, you do hit center of mass. There's this wound on his upper shoulder that just starts to bleed, and there's this green goop that kind of comes out like molasses from the wound. But everybody who wants to fight gets to roll a joint battle.
And that is
Wits and awareness.
it's an awareness.
Okay.
These are D10s, right?
These are D10s. Difficulty is 7.
That's
So 7 and higher is a success on the die. Mm,
10 still counting as 2.
10 still count as 2. He's got a 5. Join battle.
two successes.
6.
Wow. 2 for Diego, 6 for Rutherford. What did Caitlin get? 3.
3.
And Nico?
4.
4. Okay, so that makes Rutherford the 0. Nico 2. Caitlin 3. Diego 4. Jesus, this guy goes on 5. Okay. So Rutherford, you start us off. What would you like to do?
One moment, please.
Sure.
Can I ask
Looking
a
up.
question real quick then?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Assess health. It says automatically. So does that mean that takes part of my action or not?
Oh, what is that? A knack or?
No. It's a what are they? It's one of the powers.
Oh, one of your boons?
Yeah.
Ooh, let's see.
Doesn't cost anything. It says can instantly automatically.
Mm.
But it doesn't say like
The Scion can instantly automatically assess the current medical condition of a single living patient in his presence. He can tell how many levels of damage that patient is suffering, as well as any physical addictions he suffers, any illnesses or diseases with which he is infected, and any genetic defects that afflict him. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, I think as far as combat is concerned, if you want to know how many health levels he has, that's instantaneous. But if you want to learn anything else beyond that, that'll be in action.
okay. Cool.
Yep. So Rutherford, how are you going to kick things off?
I'm going to stay huddled up behind cover
Okay.
and unscrew the cap from my jar
Ooh.
and kind of dash the sand underneath one of the cars so that as the sand rolls underneath the squad car, when it hits the other side, it's formed into 3 people,
Okay.
all wearing what looks like work jumpsuits with the word Alicara Antiquities on the back of them.
Nice.
The 3 people wearing the and these are like the standard Ghostbuster or worker style jumpsuits.
Diggies.
They're all wearing boots, gloves, protective headgear, for being in a construction site, and COVID masks. And the 3 begin to advance on the people with guns, kind of drawing their attention.
Okay. So that'll reset you to a speed of 5.
And there are now 3 mummies making their way towards the opposition, who I am hoping they will draw the fire of the opposition,
Right?
because mummies don't care about bullets.
They don't. That means that it brings us to Nico. You're the 0.
Okay. And how much speed would assess health take?
If you're just, like I said, the instant one doesn't have a speed
Yeah.
attached because it's just an
The other
instant information.
The other one.
The other
Take
one,
an action. How long?
anytime that you use something that is unspecified, it's always 5.
Okay. She is gonna assess health on to just get the damage level
Mhm.
on the one that Caitlin shot.
The one that Caitlin shot has taken 3 levels of damage.
Okay.
Could have happened to a nicer person.
It's true.
All right. She's gonna shoot at that one.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a much better roll.
Nice. And what's your gun speed for?
5, actually.
Okay.
Sorry, there are not 3 mummies. There are 5. I forgot.
Okay. And that also costs you a legend point for some of them.
8.
8. Oh, holy shit.
Told you it was
So
better roll.
does it cost
Yeah.
a legend point for me to use followers?
Well, to summon them, yeah. Yeah, that's why I asked you
Okay.
if they were always around or if you had to summon them.
Okay. No. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll mark off the legend point.
So you said 8?
Yep.
God damn. Yeah. He dies.
Sweet.
What do you want to shoot this guy? How do you want him to go
Where?
down? Yeah, how do you picture him going down?
Now he's just a regular looking. He doesn't have the
He doesn't
thing
have
on, or
the bovine head. No, he does not.
okay. She's gonna hit him like dead center and just splat out.
There's this cone of red and pink, and then he drops down, and you just hear the AR empty its clip into the roof of the building. Caitlin, it is now your go.
Well, since she got the chump that we're going for, I'm gonna go for the other chump.
Okay.
And we're using
More
trick
bananas?
shooter for this.
All right. What are you using trick shooter for?
Headshot.
Okay, so you're gonna have to spend the round aiming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So aim, I believe, has a speed of 3. Let me make sure. Yep, speed 3. Okay. So 1 puts you at 0. 2, 3. 1. All right, the Minotaur, the guy with the bovine head. You see that he looks down at his dead friend and he starts to shake with fury. And he goes rushing towards one of the cops.
Not the zombies that are in the way?
No.
Okay.
Tries as best as possible to kind of skirt around them and just hits the cop dead center of mass with the cow head, and then throws him about 12 feet up into the air. The cop is frightened by the sudden situation that he finds himself in, And there's a heavy crunch as he lands, and the guy brings his foot down on top of his back, and there's another crunch, and there's this spurt of blood that comes out of the cop's mouth. Well, that resets him. And Diego, your turn.
For the Minotaur, what I want to attempt to do
Mhm.
is I want to spend a point of legend to use Serpent's Gaze.
Ooh, okay.
So when the Scion spends a point of legend, the person who they are trying to affect locks eyes with them and is unable to look away. For combat purposes, the victim is rendered inactive until the Scion breaks eye contact. The Scion can still act, but they must take a second action in order to do so. Maintaining eye contact as a diceless action. As a result, they suffer a -2 penalty for any other actions they take.
Okay.
The knack works equally well whether the Scion's epic appearance involves beauty or its opposite. Characters of a lesser legend are unable to break the Scion's gaze on their own, but those are equal or greater legends are not vulnerable. After the Scion uses a knack, takes one full action, the equal or higher, the legend victim may spend a point of willpower to negate the effect. In doing so, he remains immune to the effect for the rest of the scene.
Okay.
I don't know the stats for my weapon, by the way. I have no idea what they are.
What weapon do you have? I'll tell you.
Obsidian knife.
Oh, a knife.
Yeah.
Knives are easy. Yeah, let's say it has an accuracy of +1. It
Okay.
does +3 lethal. It has a
Okay.
defense -1. And it has a
Okay.
speed of 3.
Yeah, and I do that. So if I can, like, kind of, since I see other things going around, I'm just trying to kind of hold him in his place. And
Yeah.
when I try to look at the Minotaur, you'll see that my skin kind of gets looks like scaly for a second, and then my eyes will be like a little yellowish, and I'll look at him.
Yeah, there's a moment where he's just really satisfied with what he just did to this cop, and he just kind of roars, and as he looks at you and the rest of your group, he freezes completely. And there's
That's
this
not where you want to be when the zombie apocalypse happens.
yeah, and there's this look of fear that suddenly has come over him that he didn't have before.
Yeah, and I think that's all I can do. I think the next action is when on my next turn. I assume.
Yep. Yeah, so that resets you to 5.
Yeah.
So everyone takes down 1.
That was on the big guy.
That was on the big
That's on
guy.
the big guy. That was my
Sweet.
plan. Is just slow him down so he can't do anything while you guys do things.
Yeah.
Excellent tactical maneuver.
Yep. So the second schlub takes his action. He is also incensed by the death of his pal. So he just is going to shoot at a random police officer. Oh, exactly that many dice.
My plan to give them other targets has failed.
Well, your zombies, to be fair, your mummies don't have weapons, so they don't look threatening. Police officers have weapons that they're using, and they
That is
don't.
true. I need to teach them how to use guns.
They're just
Any of us can use an
shambling
action?
forward.
Use an action to put a police hat on a zombie.
Oh my god, that'd be fantastic. They'll never see that coming. But the cop gets shot, but he does have enough bulletproof protection to kind of. He takes the hit and falls backward, but you see that he's still breathing. But he will start to kind of push himself away, crawl away, but still have his gun trained and firing. That's going to reset him with the speed 5. Jesus. So we take down by 1. That'll be Caitlin again. I don't even know why I'm taking down the fucking Minotaur. He's about to get mollywopped. But Caitlin, what are you doing?
I was aiming because I was going to do, I believe it's trick shooter
Yep.
to headshot the other goon.
Okay. So aiming gives you a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? I hate just grabbing it and then losing the page number.
It's yeah.
There it is. Okay. Aim. Speed 3. Da 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 da. Aim as speed 3 cannot be interrupted. The player adds 1 die to the attack roll. This character unleashes upon the target to a maximum of 3. Oh, for each tick spent aiming. So yeah, so you get 3 extra dice.
Oh fuck me, yes.
Yep.
Plus, does that mean that, because it says not only do the Scion's epic dexterity bonus successes add to the dice rolls,
Mhm.
does that mean that you also get to add your epic dexterity to your dice?
Let me see.
Plus get get the automatic? How does that work?
Yeah, let me see. Because aim is a 3 speed action, but you can interrupt it before the end of the 3 speed. For every tick that you take, you get one extra die.
Yeah, but trick shooter has something else added to it.
Science epic dexterity bonuses successes add to the dexterity marksmanship dice roll. He now doubles the bonus. No, so instead of being a regular, like if you have 2 epic dexterity, instead of counting for 2 automatic successes, they count as 4.
Okay.
So it just
And
doubles
then
your.
it says it doubles the bonus received from aim action.
Dice roll.
You got a lot of freaking dice in this.
Yeah, so that's 6 extra actions.
yeah.
6 extra dice. So 3 from the aim and 3 more from trick shooter.
Yeah. Uh-huh. That's a 9.
Okay. Now. Okay. The schleb. Damn, he doesn't have a high defense because he did shoot somebody.
That's a damn shame.
Yep. So he's dead too.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Excellent.
His head go bank.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer person.
Tell you, these people. So what's the speed of your weapon? 5?
Good question. I'm not sure where to find the speed at. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's a standard issue Beretta, right?
I'm gonna say yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
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 About 5.
Most guns are 5. Let me just double check so you can write it down. How combat works. Thank you. Yes, that's where I wanted to go.
Oh wait, no. Looks like it's a 4. Beretta Glock. That's a 4. I'm sorry.
Damn.
I'm seeing Desert Eagle, Peacemaker,
Oh
Remington.
yeah. Yeah, it is a 4.
Yeah. It's a
Okay.
4.
Then we take down once for Rutherford. So he's 0. 2, 3, 1. Okay. Rutherford, it is your turn.
I dive out and try to pull the injured cop back to the line since the 2 others are dead and the Minotaur is currently otherwise engaged. And I yell at my staff in Egyptian to bring me the bull's head. And 5 zombies swarm the Minotaur and begin to clinch him. which are speed 6 and accuracy 4 attacks.
Now, would they consider your order to take the helmet off of him and bring it to you?
Yes,
Or,
they're not
they're-
super smart.
They're
but
not ripping the man's head
mindless.
off.
Yeah, they're basically going to all gang.
Yeah, they're
Hold
following
him.
the letter of the law, not the intention.
Yeah, the idea is they're all going to just swarm him and hold him down, and then one's going to rip off the Minotaur head.
You see that he doesn't resist. They swarm around him, and they pull the head off of him, and he starts to shrink. And one of
That
those
is unfortunate for him because there are now 5 undead that are currently locking around him with vice-like grips.
yeah, yeah. So if nobody else is gonna do anything violent, and Diego holds his gaze, he is, for all intents and purposes, handled. He can't
Someone
move.
help me with him, please. I'm dragging this cop because I'm not very strong.
Yeah,
I'm sure
the
there
head
are
is
other
heavy.
cops. Caitlin's gonna go in to see if she can start helping people out and see what the fuck is going on with the SWAT team, of course.
You'll see that there are a couple of people that are still alive. They've
That's good.
been tied up. But you can see that they have lacerations to their forearms or their legs. They're currently bleeding out. But there are 5 bodies that have had different organs removed from their insides. And you'll see the same thing. There's a pentagram, maybe 3.5 to 4 feet in diameter. And each point has a bowl with a different organ in one. There's a liver, a heart, a brain, a lung, and what looks to be a kidney.
Evidence bags as fast as I can. Take the organs out of the thing, but I don't touch them. I make sure the evidence bags touches the organs. Try and
The-
remove them as quickly as I can and yell for ambulance.
The moment they're removed from the bowls, they wither, turn to dust.
That's fine. I have them in the
Yeah, you got dust in the bag.
bag.
Organ
That's fine.
dust.
I will label which organ is what because
Yep.
it's a summoning spell. I'm stopping the summoning spell.
You think so?
I hope so.
But there's already an ambulance on site. But they call some more ambulances, and the paramedics that are there are kind of dealing to the people. And some of the cops start to put the corners, like towel over the blanket over the dead bodies. It's
The guy who was wearing
gruesome.
the Minotaur head, like how is he right now? Like, where is he? What's happening there?
he has a bunch of zombies holding him down.
Okay.
But the second that you break eye contact, like he starts to fight, and doesn't get any traction.
Yeah, they're very strong.
Yeah, no, and he isn't very strong.
Okay.
One of them brings the bullhead over and kind of just stands there like it's an offering and just stops moving. The other ones hold him down till the police come to get him. At first, they don't really move when the cops try to like pull them off to get at the guy, but I tell them to release him and come over here.
Yeah, the moment they release him, the cops drop him to the ground and fucking there's like 6 of them on top of him, and you're pretty sure that some of the force that they're using is excessive.
No, that's fine.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Is the cop alive that I tried to save?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nico puts her gun away. What?
Smart.
Yeah, gun.
Hey, yeah. And we'll assess health on that cop.
The one that took the bulletproof vest, he's alive.
Okay.
No,
He's
I was
not
trying to
hurt.
save the one that got thrown.
Oh no, he's dead.
Oh, all right. No,
No.
never mind then.
No.
I was trying to pull him to safety and see if we could get to him before his heart stopped or something.
Yeah,
but-
no. The second you turn him around, his eyes have bled out, like he's coughed up. The blood in his lungs, like he's way past saving.
Nope.
The
He's
stomp,
gone.
Right.
yeah, the stomp the Minotaur did to him is fucking brutal. Now you can see that there's a little indentation in the concrete.
That's gross. I hate it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the cops just fucking descend on him like ants on a sugar cube. And there's maybe a overzealous cop that opens the door to the squad car and hits him in the head. And they kind of push him into the back of the squad car, and it's strange because when he had the bovine helmet, he was very much alpha male. Now that he's in the back of the squad car, like he's crying.
Nico is going to help Caitlin with the if there's any women or children, definitely goes towards them first.
Yeah, there's a couple of kids. This was a matinee for one of the newer movies. And so it's a scene. The 5 victims that were used for the sacrifice are all adults at least. But you can definitely see that the children are traumatized.
Well done, Diego.
Yeah, he seemed like a problem.
There's an excellent trick there with the eyes and the scales. Probably saved a lot of lives.
That's the hope.
If there's anybody who needs a little bolstering before, is there anybody, or are they going to be all right?
They'll be all right.
Okay.
They'll need therapy, but they'll be all right.
Yeah.
As I look over the scene, my wonder, and I'll say it out loud, I guess, like to the present company, but not like other people, is just,
Yeah.
do you think they were performing this ritual off the top of their head, or they had some guide on them?
That's why I wanted to take him alive. And that's why I wanted the helmet.
Yeah.
You generally don't just concoct these things off the internet, from what I assume, so it might be wise to have the good detective question him.
Sounds like a plan.
And, of course, if anyone snapped pictures or the press saw that the brave staff of the Alkihara Antiques were there on the scene to help local authorities, then all the better.
All the
Free
better.
advertising.
Yep. And there are some of the onlookers that are kind of taking pictures, and some of them kind of point to your guys and are like, "What the fuck is an antique dealer doing out here?" But they do take pictures of your crew.
So does that mean we get legend points back?
He does. That's how he works.
Yes, it is.
He gets 1 legend point back for that. Yeah. The peasants want to be in the fucking limelight.
Yes, we do. That's why I have a YouTube channel.
Yeah. Yeah. But you'll see that the paramedics kind of start to help the people that need it the most. Some of the cops discuss who's going to do what, and 2 of them end up volunteering to take the guy into the precinct. And so they'll take him away, and everybody else just kind of starts to help out as much as necessary, as much as possible. And the scene starts to really calm down once the coroners have taken the last of the bodies, and the theater's closed down until this can be taken care of. But some of the other detectives that are there are just kind of like looking around, and pointing out where they think things happened. They ask about like what was in the bowls. There's
I should add, I don't automatically get a legend point for that.
right,
I
but
make a
it
roll
is
once I
yeah.
read about it or see it online.
Yeah, the harvest is a very nice
Yeah.
ability that you have. But there is one of the detectives kind of grabs with the evidence bag this strange knife. It doesn't look like anything that they should have had access to. It looks like a kukri. And for those of you that don't know what a kukri is, it has a straight blade and then it curves to the side like a white L.
Chopping weapon.
Yep, usually in Arabic.
Gurkha knife.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, where's this cookery?
Inside the theater.
She'll actually ask the other detectives if she'll put gloves on. Say, can I see that?
Like, yeah, they hold the evidence bag over to you.
She'll start looking at it. Mind if I take pictures of it? Because I know Guy. Actually, he's outside. Can I bring him in?
I mean, to the entrance, but not in here. This is an active crime
You
scene.
know what I mean.
Yeah, sure.
So I at least identify it.
Mm-hmm.
She'll poke her head out and go, Rutherford's the fourth. Come here. And like
You're
Ben,
muted.
he's muted.
Yes, I am. I look over at Diego. Is my friend allowed to come too?
You are. You're the brains.
Excellent. I kind of motion for Diego to join me over there because I don't know what his personal background is, but culturally, when it comes to sacrificial knives, his people have an edge on mine.
They sure do.
Yep.
And she'll go, I need you to identify this. We all know it's a cookery, but
I kind of gesture for the bag.
She'll gently take it from the other cup. So look, I can hold it. You can look around it. I can move it.
Then could you be so kind as to pinch the ends with your thumb and forefinger on the bottom of the handle, open the bag so I can actually examine it without the plastic in the way?
She's got examiner's gloves on, so
Mhm.
so she'll gently kind of just, but she won't let him hold it because
no, he doesn't want to hold it.
Mhm.
But I'll begin kind of looking it over for markings, runes, sigils, material it's made out of, anything that might interest me from an academic standpoint.
Academically, it is beautifully made. It looks like it could cut through anything, honestly. The way it gleams. It doesn't look like this was smithed by human hands. It doesn't give off the kind of radiance that a relic does, but it definitely looks like this was not made for a mere human.
Well, it's not a Bud K original. This is even... Yes, this is an even Gurkha issue. No, this was made by smiths of a more refined skill set. The quality and make of it is something that couldn't be mass-produced. The smith would have had perhaps centuries of honed technique to be able to get this down. The material I'm not quite sure on. Is it made of steel or is it some kind of...
It looks like steel. It's definitely it looks like it's the quality that would be the first step in creating a relic.
Okay.
You know,
It's almost like Damascus patterned or folded metal.
No, it looks like there's no visible blending of metals, which even with modern technology, like, that's impossible. Like, you're gonna get some of the wavering or some of the splotches of the imperfections of the different metals being forged together.
No, this is forged perfection. This is nothing that could be done by any modern smith.
Okay, so carbon dating would tell me it's pretty ancient.
Or brand new, but of an alloy composition that you wouldn't find typically used. It's possible this might have been made for someone yesterday, but the smith that did it is definitely one of mythic capability. This is not a relic, but it is the first step on the way to becoming a relic.
Got it. So she thumbs over to humans. So in human terms, it's
And-
old, it's ancient, and
Real quick, I want to look at it with anointed eyes.
Okay.
And since it's right nearby, I'll also look at the bullhead.
You know what? 2 for 1, bro. I'll let it happen.
Thanks, friend.
Yeah. Do you gotta use anything?
Got to spend a point of willpower and make a roll.
Okay.
7 dice.
Yeah, none of your spells use a legend?
Nope, they're all willpower.
Man, you so lucky.
Yeah, yes, I am, because I don't have very much legend.
I mean, you
None
got
of
nine.
them?
You got 9 points.
I do? Oh, it's 3 times your legend rating. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The boxes are for a once per story. You're allowed to use a number of times per story equal to your legend. To on any roll, you count your legend as automatic successes.
Okay. So that is 4 successes.
Okay. The head and the dagger are not magical, but they have been made by magic hands, by divine hands.
Any way of tracking which divinity?
The knife looks to be made by Aesir hands. The head looks to be made by Greek hands.
So the knife was made by the Aesir smiths, and the bull is most decidedly Greek in origin.
Ah.
And that is everything I can tell. Diego?
And I look at it, and what I'm trying to do is recall based on know-it-all, if like anything in studies or anything like that, where I get a detail from it. But that's really where my knowledge is coming from.
We have 2
You-
know-it-alls in the group. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. You will notice that something that Rutherford didn't pick up on is the flutes in the blade are made for bleeding. They create
This is the
a
bit.
avenue for
Bishop.
collection of blood.
Yeah, there's the part that's for blood drawing for rituals. That's all I can really get from this, but it's something.
That makes sense.
I mean, it doesn't, because it's a chopping weapon, not a stabbing weapon.
Well, it makes sense if it's used in blood. If it has pieces for blood collection, it was used in a sacrifice.
Hey, whatever helps you sleep at night.
I'm just saying.
so so pretty much you're saying is that the knife is from my family and the handle is from Nico's.
Correct.
The knife is
Which
is
then-
made by Norse hands. The helmet, the bullhead, was made by Greek hands.
Oh, okay. Great. This isn't getting more twisted.
No, it's not more twisted. Those are the 2 that we're following.
Mhm.
Yeah, no. If we're just going deep diving into everything.
Your parents leave stuff everywhere.
None of them are my parents. Parents.
Like, I guess relatives, cousins,
Maybe.
aunts, uncles.
Look, once you get into the ambrosia, shit just gets lost.
Such as how it is with
Sorry, Nico.
celebration.
She'll take a picture of this
Mhm.
knife, but put it back into the oven thing, hand it back over to the other cop,
There it is.
and then she's gonna take pictures of the crime scene to make sure she can work it. What? There's what?
No, we're just waiting for you to finish your sentence.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Did I finish my sentence?
You did. It was just
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
In the middle of a sentence, it's when it gets really like, I wonder what she's gonna say here, and then when you get to finish your sentence, it's like, that's not what I thought it was gonna go.
Wow.
No.
Just like all the best stories.
All of them.
Yeah, well, she's a good cop. She just makes sure she takes pictures and stuff
Yeah.
so she can reference them later.
It does not cost Rutherford anything to dismiss the mummies. So whenever you
Nope.
want to let them go back into the jar, just let me know.
No, they're kind of all standing around right now. That way pictures can be taken.
Mhm.
One's still holding the bullhead.
Still offering it to you.
Yep. Well, I believe we're going to make this disappear, and I instruct them to hold on to it, and
Oh, the police want it.
Detective.
God, I'm gonna hate. Oh God, I'm gonna hate this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't suppose you might be able to entreat whoever ends up heading up this investigation to allow me to study the bull's head, the fetish that was used.
Oh no.
Obviously, I
just-
understand it must be surrendered into evidence now, and I am in full compliance with the
She's
law.
gonna put her. She's gonna put her finger right on your lips for a minute and be like, "Do you ever breathe?" Thank you. She just keeps it there for a moment. I've already put your name down as a expert for all of this, so they will be contacting you. Okay, just nod your head. Thank you. Now she'll pull her finger back.
You're most welcome.
Oh, that was
Okay,
beautiful. I like you.
Okay. Thanks. I like me too.
But the couple police officers come over and they clearly don't know how to handle the head. And one of them even puts on like a second pair of gloves on top of his gloves, and he's got the little weird extra excess of latex, and between the two of them they kind of grab each horn and then start to take it off to a squad car.
How heavy was that bull's head?
Very heavy. It easily could have weighed Rutherford. What's Rutherford's strength?
Rutherford's a 2, but the zombies are a 5.
Yeah, for zombies it wasn't an issue. For Rutherford it would have been an issue. It's like 100-something pounds.
Yeah, so when the zombie just hands it to a cop like it weighs...
Yeah. Yeah.
We hire them strong at Akahara Technique Antiques. It's
Yeah.
we're
Right.
fine staff.
But you see they lay out a tarp and they put the head on top of the tarp, and then they kind of finagle the tarp into this bag. But they're both standing over by the squad car where they put in. They're like talking, and you can see them like fiddling with their gloves, trying to pull it off. The detective on the scene kind of comes over to Caitlin. I appreciate the help. I didn't know you were in the area.
No, you're fine. It's totally cool. And we were working most of this up at Red Rock. So this is kind of tying together.
This is tied to Red Rock.
Yeah, I have a feeling. people were saying, oddly enough, Minotaur stuff. And there was a guy in a shadow, and there was this thunderbolt of lightning that evaporated some people. And now that there's a cult of Minotaurs around here, this is just getting to be too weird. But
Oh,
would it be possible if I could actually talk to the guy that you guys have in custody?
um,
I have a
Mm.
feeling this is related.
I mean, I don't see why the report at Red Rock said that it was a freak natural event.
Sure. Cop to cop. Just seems weird. It's not. It's abnormal.
Okay.
And look, if I'm wrong, all the information that I have, I will give to you most happily. I will absolutely let you do whatever with it. I just want to kind of talk to him, make sure. When you get those gut feelings. This is just a gut feeling I want to go with, and at least talk to him. You want to be present? You want to be present. I ain't gonna stop you, but just kind of
Yeah.
want to talk to him.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'll set up. I'll let you know when I'm gonna go in. I want him
appreciate
I want him to simmer for a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. She just looks at him as he's crying in the back of the car, and she
No,
just
he's
kind of
gone.
looks and. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they
well,
took him away already.
She did see him crying. She goes, you know what? He's crying like a fucking baby after that head was taken off of him. Let him suffer for a bit. Let him rethink his life choices.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, you don't kill a cop in my city and
No,
get
fuck no.
immediate attention.
Oh, absolutely. I
Yeah,
mean, you're
no.
lucky he's not gonna get gutted while he's in jail.
Yeah. No, well, I'll let him sit there for the full 24 hours that we're allowed to have him.
Oh, is that before you give him his phone call?
Oh, he gets a phone call, and
Oh,
you
that's
see him.
right.
You see him go over to one of the other cops.
She'll walk back over to the trio.
Yep.
Diego, I'm curious. Nico fancies herself to be some kind of musician, and obviously the detective has a 9 to 5 with benefits. What did you do before all of this?
I serve drinks when I can and pick up any other odd jobs I can do.
Bartender.
Yeah.
Where you work?
Ugh. Down in the city. Center City.
Big city.
I didn't have a name for it yet.
That's
Sorry.
fine. There's a ton of
problem.
bars, so don't worry.
Yeah.
If you want to use a landmark, you can use Shotgun Willie's. That's a big landmark. So you can say that you work down by Shotgun Willie's.
I work at a place called Rattle and Coil.
Can't say I've ever been there, but I'm sure it's quite the establishment.
It's quite the establishment.
Sounds like a hole in the wall.
Sounds like the kind of place Nico probably played at.
How would you know? You've never seen me play.
Nope, can't say that I have. I've also never
Why
gotten
not?
the plague, but I know I wouldn't like it.
Well, I mean, come on, the plague was ages
Ooh,
ago. Why wouldn't you want to go see her play?
sassy.
He would stick out like a fucking sore thumb.
Why? What do you play?
Makes you think.
Good stuff.
I believe that it is called punk, if memory serves. Kaz tried to get me to listen.
Oh, so we're
to
back in
it,
the
but-
80s?
Hmm?
Wait, you don't remember the Sex Pistols?
No, I know what punk is. I'm not a fan. I like music with chord progression and melody.
Yeah, it's got chord progression and melody.
And a name
Yeah.
that means penis.
Perhaps buried deep underneath all the screaming and hormones, perhaps. But overall, I'm not Not
Okay.
my thing.
Isn't it what's on
Cool.
the inside that matters?
Not musically.
Damn. Wait a minute. Where were you born and raised?
London.
Okay. Where in London?
London. My family were Tories, if that tells you anything.
Tell me jack and shit.
And therefore, I see no further need to waste both of our time elucidating something you don't know about.
Oh, I know people from the East End. That's why I was asking.
Ah, the East Enders. No, I'm not an East Ender.
Yeah, it shows.
Yes, I bathe.
Ooh.
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 Ouch. Wait, you know what water is? Holy fuck. They're progressive in England now.
Mm. Yes, we have dentists and everything. We've come a long way.
Couldn't tell by
Holy
you.
shit.
Oh, my teeth are immaculate. My country grants health care.
Yeah, we do too. Unfortunately, we have to work for it.
Oof.
Yeah. Are we going to verbally spar like this the whole night? Are we going to...
I mean, I was trying to get to know you to understand why you're being such a cultural snob.
Because he is a
Ha-
cultural snob.
I have culture, yes.
Oh, okay.
If that makes me
No,
a
it doesn't.
snob, then
Sure.
I apologize. I don't mean to come off as being elitist. That's not my
Oh,
intent.
you're totally elitist right now. I mean, we're talking L337 here.
Bacteria has culture.
I'm just gonna.
Well,
Nico goes over to Caitlin. Girls scream. Looks up.
Fair. Well, I just want to make sure I'm understanding how we're going to connect each other in ways to bond as a group.
Speaking of, could Rutherford roll his legend rating, please?
okay.
You did use 2 points of legend today, so
Yeah, I'm down 2 from last time.
yeah.
I
But
used
we
one
did
last
your.
time. I used one today.
You used one today? Oh, make a roll.
Okay. What do I have to roll?
Your legend. So 3 dice.
Okay.
2 10s and a 2.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Welcome to the party, pal.
yeah.
I rolled an 8, a 10, and a 2.
Okay. There we go. So now
Mhm.
Rutherford has fate bound Diego, Caitlin, and Nico to himself. And Diego has gotten Caitlin, Nico, and Rutherford.
That's good because I actually failed it last time. I didn't get close to
Oh,
anyone.
no.
That's fine.
Oh,
That's
bloody hell. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh no, what?
The ties that bind.
Oh, oh, you're bound to us now, huh?
Yes, I am.
Interesting.
Yep. And what's funny about fate binding is that he's bound to you.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, sorry, all the way around. He used legend, so all of you are bound to him.
Ah, fuck.
So you're going to be appearing in his life more often.
Oh, great.
Well, I also am going to be in Diego's because I am. He rolled legend as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I mean, I need people to buy drinks. This is how I do it.
How you doing?
Good. Give me a whiskey straight.
so you said last time that if we do things that are epic, we get legend back, right?
Mhm.
So shooting that guy with the spray of blood, not enough?
It's impressive. I don't think it's legendary.
Okay.
had you leapt off the car, spun in the air, and racked the shot off in mid-flight, that would have been legendary.
That's legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not asking about the trick shot with the head.
Yeah, no.
No. That's because I'd aimed.
No. Mundane stuff that anybody can do. It's impressive, but not legendary. You want to push boundaries.
Okay.
Mine
But-
is easier to harvest.
Yeah.
Yeah, my problem was, you know, she didn't want to do stuff with
Mhm.
cops.
Yeah.
But,
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
that was a good move.
And you'll
Not
have
wrong.
opportunities to not have cops around when you want to do impressive shit.
I mean, also, you know, when
Well, no,
I've been
we're
in
always going to have one.
when I was in Denver, I walked by a building and there was a sign that said like, "We always appreciate like any good guy with a gun." Like I found signage and things encouraging if something happens for
Mhm.
citizens to take it in their own hands. That was at least the feeling I got when I was in Denver.
Yeah.
In some places.
There's a few red spots in Denver for being a blue state. It is a very interesting social melting pot to kind of observe, because there's a pho place on every corner, but there's like a ton of Mexicans. It's
Yeah,
a super
Come
weird
up
place.
from New Mexico.
hmm
I mean, yeah, sure, it's close.
I
But-
walked down the amphitheater when it was frozen, like the Red Rock Amphitheater, empty and frozen.
Yeah.
Just super slow.
Do you all go back to Rutherford's shop, or are you gonna go pick up your cars? Your
Well,
rides?
can we get a ride out to pick up our cars?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kaz has no compulsion against it unless Rutherford says otherwise.
No, please, let's all bring them to their own vehicles. That way they can convey themselves as needed.
I'll just take the bus.
Oh, nonsense. You can drop you off wherever you need. Where are you going?
Sure. I'll just go to work.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
Yeah, it's on the way. Aurora is further east from Red Rocks, so you will have to stop by the center of town anyway. And those of you that are not familiar with Shotgun Willie's will see that it is a gentleman's club. It is the brightest thing in the area around it. And there's a few bars here and there, but it's mostly just strip malls of like fast food and yoga places and a CVS or a Walgreens. But as you are dropped off for your work or dropped off at Red Rocks to pick up your cars, I think this is a good point to call it for tonight. So thank you all for joining us, the cast and the audience. I hope you guys are having a good time. As always, I want to give you guys a chance to plug whatever you're into. So Junie, we'll start with you. What are you up to? Where can people find you online if you want to be found?
I'm on the internet because I live there.
Mm.
It's easier to move around and just be here. Pulling stuff. So I turn around and I strangle yarn on my channel. Why? Because it's easier. And I was told I don't look good in orange. And it's I can't get Wi-Fi in other places. So I make things like our dumpster fire and our trash fire because they're cute, they're adorable. And I make other things as well on my channel. So come on, say hi and help strangle yarn with me because I heard it's therapeutic.
Yeah. Nico, what are you up to? Where can people find you online if you want to be found?
Well, I make dice, and today I'm going to show you my little druid farm garden die that I
Nice.
made, and you can find them over on my site, which I think you put on there.
Yep. Yep.
I do
Is-
custom work too.
Is
so
that the
if you have
new?
anything you want-
Is it the new marbling that you've been playing with, or?
No.
Okay.
That's actually I guess you couldn't see it very well. It's actually got like flowers and
Oh, nice. Okay, that's what I was wondering what it was.
no, this is the marbling. The stone.
Yeah, the stone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those aren't for sale yet because I haven't perfected it, but
I'm excited. I'm excited to see the perfect finished product. Ben, what are you up to? Where can people find you online if you want to be found?
Rev Ben Powers on the Blue Sky. I mostly talk about wrestling. That's
Mhm.
kind of my thing. Soon I'll be pimping dice because I saw some of the ones that were being made for some of the players in the game, and they were gorgeous. And so I will be pimping those. You can also find me on the Ravnos Archon channel for L5R, where I'm playing a different kind of condescending scumbag.
Very, very
Not,
different.
not saying I'm typecast lately, but I seem to have an idiom. So
You know your niche.
yeah, I do
You're
know
just
my
making
niche.
the rounds.
Ghosts and smug assholes. That seems to be my thing. I don't know.
Ghosts and smug assholes. That's where the money is, baby. Alfie, what are you up to? Where can people find you online if you want to be found?
I'm on the Facebooks, and
Yeah.
I just do this for fun randomly sometimes. That's it.
right.
Tabletop all the way.
Tabletop, bro. And I appreciate all of you for this. As always, we take mental health on the channel very seriously, so please know that it is okay to not be okay. If you need help and you're watching live, there are phone numbers going up in the Twitch chat. They'll be in the description box if you're watching on YouTube. But just know that there are people out there who want to help you. If you are not in the United States or you don't do well with phone calls or text messages, you can go to findthehelpline.com and they'll help you find the resources nearest to you or that can acclimate to your needs, because all it takes is that first step, and the world is a better place with you in it. So just know that you are valued and that it is okay to not be okay. Let that really kind of like push you forward if you really need it. But just know that you are loved and you are special. So as always, you can find us here on Monday for Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. Tuesdays, like you saw, are for Scion or Werewolf of the Wild West. Thursdays are for Legend of the Five Rings, where you'll see another condescending asshole. And for 7C, where you'll see a different side of Detective Blackwood there. And then you can catch me on Wednesdays at McStabber Studios, because I've infiltrated all of their games, and I'm currently running a mage game set in current day, well, 2018 Miami. And then I sneak into their Friday games whenever they let me play the Kansas's best sire. And, you know, that's the running gag, is that there's no better sire than Rurik Rakosi. And I'll let you be the judge of that. Go see what I've done with that character. But as always, thank you guys again for coming. I hope you guys are having a good time, and we will see you when we see you. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.